Hey everyone, this is Clinton Manning, and you're watching Tales by Firelight. In the 1940s, in São Paulo, Brazil, one of the biggest cities in the world, today it has a population of 20 million and is the 10th largest city in the world. There was a young man who was out clubbing late at night, and the club closed, so it was time for him to start heading home. And it was a cold night. It was really dark. It must have been like 2 in the morning. So he was walking down the streets, and in Brazil they have a lot of parks. Like a whole little block will just be a park, and usually they have a gazebo in it. So he was passing by this park, and he was getting close to the gazebo when he saw that there was a young girl that was crying, sitting on a bench. He looked at her and took compassion. He didn't want to seem like a creep, so he sat down on the other end of the bench. He looked at her and he asked her if there's anything he could do, if she was okay. And she was just sobbing. She was crying. It's like she didn't even hear him. And so he asked her again, "Are you alright? Is there anything I can do?" As he gazed at her, for a minute it looked like she was in a deep trance, deep in thought. She was far, far away when she snapped out of it and looked at him and told him that she had been stood up. She had been waiting for hours and that her guy friend never showed. So he listened to her sad story and noticed that her lips and her skin were starting to turn blue. She wasn't wearing a coat. She was freezing. So he stood up and he offered her his coat. "Would you like this to help you stay warm?" And she accepted. So he took off the coat and gently rested it on her shoulders. She finished the conversation and it seemed like she felt better, and it was getting really late. So he told her, how about you keep my coat tonight and you can get it back to me tomorrow. So she said, "Alright," and she gave him her address. So the next day after work, he decided to go retrieve his coat. He was following the address, but it led him to a cemetery, and he was confused. When he was looking at the piece of paper she gave him, there were some extra numbers on it. So after looking for a little while to see if he could find the location of his address, he gave up, getting frustrated, thinking he might have lost his coat. So he went to the head office of the cemetery. So when he talked with them, he showed him the piece of paper and said, Where is this address? I can't find any nearby streets that match this address." The man who worked at the cemetery took the piece of paper and looked at it. "Well, I can tell you where this is. Here, follow me." So together they began walking through the cemetery. He was looking around, and it was a beautiful cemetery in the middle of the day, when they arrived at a tomb. And on top of the tomb there was his coat, folded up all nice and neat, resting on top of the tomb. And as he looked at the tomb, there was a picture on it. In Brazil, a lot of the tombs have pictures of the deceased. The hair stood on the back of his neck because it was the girl from the night before, and it clearly stated that she had died more than 20 years ago. Thank you all for watching Tales by Firelight. If you don't want to miss another video, please follow See First on Facebook or go to YouTube, subscribe, and hit that little bell to get your reminder. Goodbye!